not a bit. We're not making this up.
No.
No, we're not. This actually happened, and we have to investigate and find out what the real story is. Now, this entire radio station is enjoying unprecedented success, and Ken and I are enjoying a lot of success here. And apparently this has aroused certain jealousies in the infantile radio community. As you know, we've had the general manager of WAYV call us up and try to fire us, which is difficult to do since we don't work for her. We apparently have another radio station in Vineland, they call themselves The Boss, who are so frightened of our recent success that they wanted to break into our radio station, allegedly, the other night.
Which is hard to believe with this heavily guarded institution.
What the hell they were going to find in here, I don't know. Maybe they were going to... Now, these are the kind of people, you have to understand that most people in radio are infantile and very immature, and they think playing Duran Duran records is real important to the evolution of society, okay? And they think that because they're in radio, people are obsessed with their personalities, that you, the listener, is obsessed with us because we're on the radio, and we know you don't care. You know, you'll enjoy us if we're on. If we're not on, you go on with your lives. But these people don't understand it. They actually think they're stars. Now, these guys in Vineland actually believe that they're really happening because they can play, 922 records in a row? That's their big selling point. They play 900 records in a row because they can't think of anything to say, basically.
Little do they know, when you go 10 miles down the road from their transmitter, you can't hear the station.
Yeah, they forgot. They bought a lot of records. They forgot to buy an extra AA battery for their transmitter. You can't hear them anywhere. Anyway, they're frightened by us. They're the kind of radio station that puts ads in the newspaper saying they had 6 million entries in one of their contests when they're lucky if they got 60. So here's the story. This was relayed to us by Richard Black, our Fun and Games director. He, after Sneamers Tuesday night, we all got out late, about 11 or 11:30. Richard came back here to the station, and he noticed a large, shall we say, a humongous man at the door. Whom we believe is Nick Giorno from this Boss radio station. Nick, apparently, his picture's been in the paper. He's 580 pounds minimum. Now, apparently, he showed up at the door after making an hour-long drive from Vineland, wanting a copy of a radio commercial that we had. Richard answered the door and said, well, we don't have it. And Nick allegedly said, oh, fine, no problem, and had no problem with driving back to Vineland. After making an hour trip here, he drove back, allegedly. He also had another man with him.
Ooh.
So this is 2 men to pick up 1 tape, and they drove 2 hours round trip and then weren't upset in the least that we didn't have the commercial. We investigated and found out there was no such commercial that we were supposed to deliver to them. Then Richard, being an investigative mind, looked outside and noticed that this car containing the 2 large men circled the building 5 times. Apparently they were there to break in. And they were startled to find Richard in his office. We don't know what they wanted, but we're going to find out.
Sounds like they were waiting for an opportunity. From what I understand, though, an unconfirmed report that Bruce and Nick were just trying to exchange recipes.
This guy's huge.
Food tips.
Now, you see, if he had broken into the place, he would have gotten stuck through the door, and we would have found him the next morning screaming for a cheeseburger. So we'll see what happens here. I mean, what infants? They're trying to break into the radio station, I guess, to find out the secret we have to our success.
97.
Yeah, hello. We're live on WMGM Radio. This is John Cobell. Oh, is Nick Giorno there?
No, he's over at the studio.
What?
He's at the studio.
What studio?
Our studio. We're at 2 different locations.
Do you have a phone number for that studio?
Sure, 825.
He needs his own location.
Yeah.
2455.
245. Can I ask you something?
He doesn't fit in that location?
Yeah, well, they built a second studio so Nick could fit. Is he like the largest human being you've ever seen?
I'm not saying anything. That's awful.
All right.
Hey, when he sweats, does he stink real bad?
Call Nick, okay?
All right, bye-bye.
Yep, he's got his own building for his show.
He's got his own building they built because he's so large. You drive by, you see rolls of fat hanging out the window. And what infants?
Let me get a request out of this anyway.
Yeah. Maybe we can request our 97 songs in a row. You got 97 ideas for songs?
Are you kidding me? Uh-oh. This could be the contest.
See,
line.
they listen to us, just like the people at AYV listen to us constantly, waiting to see what we're going to do. They're so frightened of us. We've rattled both places big time. because they can't do what we do.
Well, this station's no worry.
Yeah, I know, but these guys think that they're the hottest thing going. They don't know they're in Vineland. One day they're going to wake up and realize they're broadcasting out of Vineland. That the only people who can hear them are in Vineland and Millville. And what was that other town next to Millville that lady called yesterday?
That was Port Elizabeth.
Port Elizabeth, yeah. They got a big audience in Port Elizabeth. They're not answering.
They have that ad that says they're number one or something, and if you look at it closely, it's like a community of 200.
Yeah, number one on Main Street in Port Elizabeth. Oh, darn.
Oh, they're not. He must be having breakfast.
Well, yeah, it's hard to answer the phone when you have 5 cheeseburgers in each hand.
Oh, well. He must have warned him.
Why don't...
You gonna let it ring?
Huh? Yeah, we'll just let it ring in the background. We will break into programming if we ever get an answer, okay?
Emergency bulletin.
Because eventually they got to answer this. Unless I dialed the wrong number. Let me try it. Come on, you infants. It's your chance to be on a real radio station. Your chance to be in big-time radio. Don't blow it. I'll play this commercial. We'll be right back.
It's fun and inexpensive to create your own fashionable jewelry. And now Bangles & Beads is open in Margate with a large selection of precious and semi-precious stones, gold and silver, crystal beads.
To types. Hey there, how you doing this morning? Good morning, everybody.
Why don't we get the operator to break in and tell him it's like a Wendy's emergency?
Wendy's calling. We have your emergency rations. This is supposed to be the private hotline or what?
Something like that.
They got it, and they must have heard by now. Somebody, I'm sure, tipped them off.
I have a feeling someone here told them. I think they were here to steal trade secrets and to create their own zany show. Their own antics.
All right, we'll play a record. Yeah, we'll stop the record if they ever pick up, okay?
The hottest hits 104 MGM.
MGM in Atlantic City.
Oh, hi.
Hey, is this Nick?
No, it's not.
Is Nick Giorno there?
No, is this that jerk-off Mark Daniels?
No, this is the jerk-off John Cobelt.
Oh, okay.
P-Brain.
Oh, that's right.
How come 2 of you guys were trying to break into the studio here?
You guys play with yourself in the studio?
Trying to find some ratings, Fatso?
What's that?
Trying to find some ratings or some talent?
Here, you're 6 in your mouth. Let's take the thing out of your mouth.
There you go. There's the intelligence there, okay?
Basically the level of the music and the
there
thoughts.
You go. There's the station broadcasting to your children, okay? There's the kind of brilliant minds. Tell me, see, they were listening to us. And they would listen to us and they had the phone ring for 5 minutes.
Well, of course, he had to plan that.
Till they could think of something to say.
Yeah. There's no way in the world he could have thought of anything else to say.
Let me call up the main line now, because I don't think that's professional broadcasting to get on another radio station and start swearing. Maybe we could talk to their general manager. Is that professional broadcasting? Is that a violation of FCC rules? That's real responsible. See who we can get. We'll get the... You think that was Nick? Who do you think that was?
I think it was the owner.
Boss 97.
Hey, we're live on WMGM Radio. Hey, one of your foul-mouthed disc jockeys just started swearing on our radio station. Can we talk to your general manager? Or is he busy having lunch?
She's gone.
Hung up?
Yeah.
Good. I'll rattle them for the rest of the day. Is there any more to that record? No, that record's done, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, 9:27 here at WMGM. I think we accomplished our purpose.
And now, live from his cushy chair, 7-Eleven presents the Football Gourmet with your host, J.D. McBumbles.
I'll trade you into my gourmet gridiron, but today
we think he's the morning disc jockey there. Joe starts swearing on the radio, and he's supposed to be talking to kids, you know. And you know what happens is when guys do that, it makes our jobs harder because we don't really do dirty stuff. I mean, we might, you know.
They probably sat there with the little FCC book. Okay, let it ring. Let's figure out a word we can say. We won't get sued, but we'll be funny.
But the woman called up and got the general manager from Vineland, and he claimed that the guy shouldn't have done it, but we shouldn't have called him. Now, we called, and we told him right away he was live on the air, so he knew he was on the air, and he willfully did that.
Hey, we've had things stolen out of this building that are never seen again. I think that we have a right when someone is loitering.
Loitering at what, midnight?
You saw a huge fat guy like that hanging on your property for 25 minutes, you'd be worried too.
I hate to give them this much publicity because they're so insignificant and they're so talentless and stupid.
That is the bottom line.
But I just want to point out the infantile mentality of the people who work at radio stations. It's the same thing over at Effeminate 95. It's the same mentality. In fact, half the people at the boss used to work at Effeminate 95.
Yeah, basically, it's
the same group of idiots.
It's all incestuous.
So we're trying to have some fun, make people laugh, have a good time in the morning, and these guys are acting like they have some sort of Gestapo tactics they're using, breaking in and swearing on the radio.
By the way, they are doing something nice I saw in the paper today.
What?
They're having a coat drive. Collect coats for the poor. But I was thinking, Nick, donate your coat. It'll clothe all of Atlantic City's homeless, all right? That's enough of that.
The phone numbers are 696-2677. We got a lot of calls from women who are incensed by the foul language from the boss. 696-2677, 825-2455. Forgot, what's that general manager's name? I forget.
I think it's also Joe.
Yeah, just ask for Joe. You either get a suit or an idiot, one of the two.
They're interchangeable.
Or ask for Fat Nick, okay? Jeez. 9:41 here at WMGM. We're going to be at Steamers tonight. Oh, do we have a great show for you tonight? This is going to be great. Come at 9 o'clock. Come early because we have the first inaugural ball at Steamers. The very first. This beats all the humdrum parties they're having in Washington. Because I bet you in Washington they're not having a George Bush impersonation contest, do you think?
No.
No. I bet you they're not going to have a quail hunting contest. Oh, they might actually. We're going to have a quail hunting contest. We're going to have a bird flying through the bar tonight, and you have to shoot at it. We're going to hand you a weapon, and you're going to fire the weapon at the bird. If you hit it's not a real bird. It's a stuffed bird. If you can nail the bird, you'll win a prize, okay? So a quail hunting contest, George Bush impersonation contest, and George Bushmill Irish whiskey is the special drink of the night.
$1 a shot.
That's right. So tonight at Steamers, 9 o'clock, the first inaugural ball.
Please, wear a pretty flowered dress.
Lots of dancing going on, lots of good-looking people there. This is not a formal, but you must wear a minimum of underwear and socks, okay? 9:42 here at WMGM. TV Tonight's coming up in a few minutes.
Come on, don't be shy. We guarantee you won't believe your eyes. The closer you get, the better we look. Ooh, Bernie Robbins, ooh, Bernie Robbins. The closer you get, the better we look. Ooh, Bernie Robbins, ooh, Bernie Robbins.
Bernie Robbins is having a big sale.